Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. My name's Haziq Ali. If you're watching a replay, give us a replay, gang, so we can give you special love. Hey, every single day we do this, 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, I hold it down myself. Basically what I do is kind of run through mindset, skill set, and heart set. You know, every single day it's going to be mindset, skill set, or heart set that helps you go further, faster, with less effort. Then on Saturdays, we got Amma, the CPA. She does a lot of financial literacy training. People love that because of the fact that she's a CPA. And CPAs have literally a lower pass rate than the bar exam. It's harder to be a CPA than a lawyer is what I'm saying. And every Saturday we have a CPA that's bringing you the game. Sundays is a physician. She happens to be my sister. Her name's Dr. Kadira Ali Huff. And she, even though she's an Ivy League trained physician, what's ill about her is that she puts all her focus on helping you to look at life from a holistically wealthy point of view. We call that wealth. Wellness is the new wealth. That's what we do every Sunday. Wellness is the new wealth. Yeah, we starting to check in this morning. What's up, Diamond? Okay, Diamond. I love it. Yeah, Adam, we in the house. Okay, my big sis up in here. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning. Hey, D. George. Let's get it, bro. So yeah, that's every Sunday is Dr. Kadira. So Monday through Friday, I got it. I'm in the CPA is on Saturdays, and then Dr. Kadira is on Sundays. But we do this 7 days a week. So make sure you click on the subscription button, especially if you're watching on YouTube right now. That's our favorite place right now because we're trying to get that thing growing. Matter of fact, man, if you know anybody who's good with YouTube, if you know anybody who's good with YouTube SEO, have them reach out to me. I am now looking to hire somebody to help with the YouTube channel. P.O. I'm looking to have somebody help us with the YouTube channel, get that thing moving. So if you know somebody like that, millionaire, spread the word. Let them know we in the house. I'm going to go ahead and call in on this live line. How we feeling this morning? Man, it feels so good to be back. Had to run around and do a bunch of family stuff.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
There are. Now, please enter your... Thank you. Please announce yourself. To mute conference participants, press 1. To mute conference participants, press 1. Exit tones are off. Entry tones are off. Exit tones are on. Entry tones are on. Exit tones are on. Entry and exit tones are on.
Welcome, millionaire. Who was just called?
Entry and exit tones are off.
Good morning.
All participants are muted.
Man, that took a long time, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody checking in. That's what I'm saying. P.O. Talk to him. No apology needed. All right, what's up, Zay? All right, let him know we here. So this morning we're talking about time management. I got a couple things for you because we started this conversation not too long ago, and it's one of my favorite subjects, especially right now, because of the fact that we're in the middle of this 90-day challenge. I don't know how many of you know, but you know, we got a lot of lives changing right now because we just decided to make it so that the next 90 days, you know, we're going to put some focused intention on where we're putting our time. And one of the easiest ways to measure that, if you ask me, is income. You know, I love looking at how the productivity starts to affect the income, because I feel like income's one of those really cool things that help you do everything else. Kind of like how they say courage is a character trait that makes all the others possible, all the other good character traits possible. I look at financial freedom as one of those freedoms that allows for a lot of the other freedoms. You know, it's a lot easier to be a giver when you have more to give than just your physical presence. Does that make sense? Sometimes when we are living in lack and scarcity, the only way that we can affect change, the only way that we can help other people is with our physical presence. That's very limiting. And so what we want to do is we want to increase our power. We want to increase our ability. We want to increase our largesse. And that's why I love entrepreneurs. So when we started this off, we ran through 4 that a lot of people go through, 4 of the things that waste a lot of people's time. And it happens really sneaky, right? The first one we talked about was social media. How a lot of times we get sucked into social media. Boy, don't take your phone in the bathroom. Don't take your phone to the restaurant. You know, here you are out on a date, or you out with your family, and you look around and everybody's on their phone. What are you doing? You're wasting time. This could be another memory. This could be something that brings the family closer, but you've got that with intention. You know, sometimes, you know, you might go out with your folk of a certain ilk, of a certain caliber, and they pass the basket around. Everybody got to put their phone in a basket, and the first one that has to get their phone out pays the bill for everybody, right? These are techniques that the world class use so that they don't get themselves sucked into the average routines of everybody else. Man, these phones and these little lowbrow games, these are designed for the masses, y'all. And the masses are poor. Share this with somebody who needs to remember that they should not be wasting so much time on social media. Share this with somebody who will hold you accountable if you're saying that's something you want to fix in your life. Here was the second one we said. We said that we never go through the day without a plan. We never go through the day without a plan. You know, I'm going to tell you something. This time audit that's in the 90-day planner, I'm just showing you the format real quick, but I want to be clear. You can just do this on a piece of paper. You don't have to get the 90-day planner to do this. If you want the 90-day planner, sure, we got you. But understand, this allows you to understand what you're really doing with your life. This thing right here, and everybody's participating in the 90-day challenge. Shouts out to Mrs. Ali Goins. We have it on the productivity tracker. There's a whole little slide over there where you can either track your time or you can schedule your time. Use it either way. Either way, you can't do nothing but improve. If you will just use it to track your time. Hey, here's what I did from 8 to 8:30. Here's what I did from 8:30 to 9. From 9 to 9:30, all I did was scroll. Oh, snap. That was 30 minutes I could have put into reading a book. That was 30 minutes I could have put into walking around the block. Maybe I could have been scrolling while I was getting some exercise time in. You get what I mean? Or you can use it to schedule. From 8 to 8:30, I must do this. From 8:30 to 9, that's my reading time. That's what it is. From 9 to 9:30, that's the time I'm going to walk around. That's what it is. You get what I mean? From 9:30 to 10, I'm making 2 phone calls today, right? But what I'm saying is, if you're going to be productive, you can't go through the day without an agenda. So make sure you keep that in mind. The third one that we gave you was the emotionally draining stuff. We said that the world class stay away from all this emotionally draining crap, right? A lot of times it's stress, it's drama, it's worrying about things you can't control. To some extent, you know, I'm gonna tell you, it may even be jealousy. You may be combining the social media, okay, with the fact that now you're jealous of other people that you see on social media, because you're looking at the best parts of all their lives, putting it into this one person. And when you compare yourself to this one composite figure of everybody's best qualities, you're like, I suck. Right now, you're draining your emotions and it's not helping you as much as you think. So we talked about that a little bit. Number 4 was that we don't worry about things we can't control. We don't worry about things we can't control. Millionaires, that's easy. You know, that's enough said, right? I don't even have to go too deep into that. You have a certain challenge in front of you every day, millionaire. And that is to focus your time on the most effective activities that you can possibly glean out of this 24 hours. There are so many things that you could do with your day. I mean, there are so many ways that you can make this day pay off, or you can make this day be a complete waste. But I'm going to tell you one of the easiest ways to do the latter. It's sit around worrying about a bunch of stuff that you can't control. That is not to be confused with planning. I'm not saying you don't plan for all my summer personalities out there. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is you don't have to listen. Your plan does not have to include visualizing every worst case scenario and then what's going to happen after that, and then how you're going to feel and how horrible that's going to make it, all in an attempt to demoralize you moving forward. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is focus your time and your energy on how you can handle that problem. If this pops up, what's the worst can happen? You know what? That's not even that bad. You know what? Let's do this. All right. So those were the 4 we gave you already. I got 4 more for you. If you're ready, then give me a number 5 and a share. I'm going to need your help out there. I'm going to need your help. A number 5 and a share. Yeah. Appreciate that, Allie. Mrs. Goins in the house. What's up, Erica? Rise above indeed, Queen. Indeed. Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. Okay. All right, here's number 5. Here's number 5. It is a waste of time, y'all, to do this. And I hope I don't know who I'm talking to, but check it out. The world class don't hang out with negative people. As a matter of fact, you can't hang out with negative people. And I mean, there's this, I always talk about how there's this one book that's like the greatest book on entrepreneurship ever written, right? And one of the quotes, you see it on t-shirts all over the country, especially on Sundays, is like, it's one of those quotes you see on the bookmarks. It's one of those quotes. But people get it twisted. It didn't say make me strong in the temptation. It said deliver me from it. What does that mean? That means that even the legends, even the most celebrated throughout history, right? Even the ones that we look at as the example, they still realize that you've got to look at your environment. You've got to look at, isn't it interesting that a prophet's always without honor in his own homeland? Isn't that weird? Y'all heard that one before? Check it out, y'all. You have to look at yourself as having 2 different families. You've got to look at yourself as living in 2 different worlds. You're always going to have one reality that's based around what was created. But then there's always going to be another reality based around what you create. What I'm saying is, yes, you were given certain family by blood, but then you get to create other family with intention. Right? This is why, we have marriage. This is why we have networking groups. This is why we have the ability to get out there and serve. You do not have to stay and you got one environment that was created for you. That's the city you live in, right? That's the mindsets of the people you live in. But you always read these stories about the great ones kind of like move into a new environment. Why? Because the brain doesn't work off pressure. The brain works off stimulation. Millionaires, you got to surround yourself with better people. I want you to think about this morning. Because one big mistake that a lot of people make is not realizing that happiness is an individual choice. But every choice in your life is influenced by the people in your lives. Keep it 1,000 with me. Millionaires, you need more positive people. That person might be a professional. That person might be a mentor. That person might be a coach. They might just be somebody you respect and you want to emulate their positive outlook, or you want to duplicate some result they have in their life. But these people are always going to have certain traits. Some of them might have a bigger sense of humor than others, et cetera, so forth. But I'm going to tell you what, this person's always going to practice gratitude, right? They're going to be seeking joy every day and not pain. They're going to be working at becoming their best selves. They're going to love being active. They're going to love feeling connected to other people, either through service or through just, sincere, intentional empathy, right? Think about the negative influences around you. Think about some of the people around you that drag you down, that focus on the bad things in their lives, that cause you to do the same. Now you're left searching for new problems to worry about. Is that a fact? And they don't always mean it. But what I'm saying is, if you recognize that, you've got to be that positive force. You know, millionaires, there are different personality types. And as we begin to learn about them, don't get twisted into thinking that this is the way I am, so this is the way I always have to be. You hear me? Sometimes, y'all, the best thing about somebody is also the worst thing about somebody. Can you dig that? It is a really good thing to have the ability to see a problem before it pops up. That's an incredible way to look at life, because you got to think about it. If I can prepare, then I don't have to be scared. You hear me? But what I think is interesting is this idea that if you can kind of put yourself in a proper mindset, even if you notice that you're pessimistic sometimes, what you can do is rely on the faith of the people around you. You don't need toxic energy. You don't need this weight on you when you're trying to rise. But the beauty of this is that there's an effect in science called homeostasis. And what, can somebody give me that in the comments? Homeostasis. See, homeostasis is simple. What homeostasis means is that proximity is power. You naturally begin to rise up or slide down to the level of the people around you. Does that make sense? Millionaires, I want you to start looking at the people around you, and then it goes like this. You either got to change your friends or change your friends. If you're ready for number 6, what I want you to do right now is give me the name of 3 different people in your life that you know represent positivity. Let me see it in the comments. 3 different people in your life that represent positivity, and then give us a share. 3 different people in your life that represent positivity, that represent the side of things that you want to see more of in your life. Let me see it. Let me see it. 3 different people in your life who represent positivity for you, who represent that power. 3 different people, and then give us a share. I want you to call them out. Give them some love. And if you can't name 3 people, ain't that a problem, y'all? If you can't name 3 people, ain't that a problem? If you ain't got 3 people around you that practice gratitude, that constantly want to improve themselves, that are seeking joy daily, that are staying active, if you can't name these people, isn't that an issue? Hey, Jerry, you named yourself, bro. Okay. All right. All right. Jazzy, what's up, Jazzy? I ain't mad though, Jerry. If we can't name ourselves, that's a problem too. Give me 3 of them, y'all. You got 3 people. You got 3 people. Okay, man, I'm so honored. Okay. All right, that's only 2, Miss Nixon. That's only 2. 3 people in a share. 3 people in a share. 3 people, y'all, who are positive influences in your life. 3 people who are positive influences in your life that seek the joy, that are constantly looking to improve themselves. I'm going to tell you something. If you can't name these 3 people, what I'm going for is I'm hoping this is kind of like a wake-up moment. Like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. You know, that's one thing I love about, you know, even the home-based business world, the world of network marketing, because that's a cool way to get around a bunch of successful people. You better join you a home-based business. You better join you a home-based business. I ain't mad at you. I said I count. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Okay then, Miss Simmons. Okay. I love that. I love that. All right, here's number 6. I just wanted to keep you thinking about it. I ain't trying to put nobody under pressure. You know, want no trouble. You know, we don't want no smoke. We just saying it like there may be an issue if you don't have 3 people around you who empower you and you've picked them with intention. You've got them around you. That sounds like a lot of us are dealing with what we've been given. Sounds like a lot of us are dealing with what we've been given. Okay. Sounds like a lot of us are being victims of circumstance instead of creators of circumstance, huh? Just something to think about. Here's number 6, y'all. Here's number 6. The world class don't waste time dwelling on past mistakes. Before we did the 90-day challenge, man, one of the things that I hope a lot of people did not skip in that series of videos that we did is that whole step about letting go of the pain. And I told a really personal story myself, you know, but I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes it's pain that somebody did to you and, you know, they traumatized you. And believe it or not, it's, you know, we are choosing to see it as we've been traumatized. We can go back and attach a whole different interpretation to that when we want to, but that's a training for another day. What I'm saying is sometimes it's something that somebody did to us, but check it out, millionaires. Sometimes it's something we did to somebody. Sometimes we're the ones that hurt somebody. Sometimes we're the ones that made the mistake. Successful people make mistakes. This is how it's going to go. Everybody makes mistakes, y'all. Every keyboard has a delete button. Every keyboard has a backspace. Here's the key. The key is not making the same mistake over and over again. Can somebody relate to that? I'm going to tell you something else. When you talk about that last one we covered about having people around you to boost you up, it is amazing what being in an environment with people who are positive and joyous does for your ability to fail forward fast. And I want to bring that up because I want to make sure that we are being that for other people. One thing I love about my business partners, like we just now did this franchise show in Chicago. I guess it was last weekend or the weekend before last. We did this franchise show in Chicago, and it was amazing because, well, first of all, it was not Chicago, but that's a whole nother story. But the whole play was that we're there and we literally gathered a lot of information. But you know, when we went, we had these big, huge ideas of how the process would work. It didn't cross, I don't know about everybody else, but it didn't cross my mind that people weren't just going to come and swipe their card for $10,000 right there on the spot. I was picturing it completely different. But what my lady had mentioned, like when we were leaving, she was like, when we were sitting there at dinner, she was like, she would have been going crazy. She's like a fall personality, you know, for everybody who knows. If you know, you know. And she was like, I would have been going crazy that this didn't happen and that didn't happen. She was like, y'all never even brought it up. We just had this incredible dinner. Everybody's like sitting around laughing and joking. And I started breaking down for her how I've cannot say enough about that kind of environment. First, I laughed for about 30 seconds because it was so funny hearing it from somebody else's point of view, what it's like to kind of like observe how it all looks from the outside looking in, right? But then I've just started thinking about what an environment that is and how productive that makes the whole team when you're like, listen, y'all, I be having some crazy ideas. I'm talking about, I be having some, man, I don't know how many people know if they remember this newsletter that we were putting out for a minute. You know, that was me. We spent money on that because of me. You know what I mean? But then, you know what I mean? There's stuff like the NIP, or there's stuff like how we messed around and had this, you know, we had this no money down financing program, and it left a little bit to be desired. You know, there were a lot of people that kind of fell through the cracks, et cetera, so forth. Some would consider there were certain pieces of that might have been sort of a mistake, right? But check it out. Each one of these experiences, I can tell you how it opened up the door for something much greater later. And if you have a team around you that is instead blaming you and criticizing you and sucking your power out every time you jump out there, what'll happen is you'll stop jumping. What'll happen is you'll stop taking those risks. Millionaires, sometimes it ain't the people around you, it's you beating yourself up. Now you're shell shocked. Now you tucking your tail. Now you're bowing your head and you're ignoring it when God's talking to you until finally you stop hearing the voice at all. What I'm trying to tell you, millionaire, is that you got to make more mistakes, not less mistakes. What I'm saying to you is that the number one tool for growth and development on this planet, in this civilization, is the mistake. And every single time you jump out there, it is pretty much guaranteed that you're going to mess up. It's guaranteed pretty much that your first is going to be your worst. Millionaires, you can't dwell on that because it's making you who you're supposed to become. Oh my God, can you imagine giving somebody $1 million before they become a millionaire inside? Well, how the heck do you grow? Number 7, y'all. Here's the 7th one for you. Productive, successful people don't focus on what other people are doing. They focus on what other people did. They don't focus on what other people are doing. They focus on what other people did. Can you hear me? They don't focus on what other people are doing. What I'm saying is, actually, even when I say it that way, it sounds a little confusing. So here's what I mean. What I mean is, a lot of times we look at people's result instead of looking at their process. It's great to be inspired by what other people have achieved. It's incredible to be blown away by the material representations, for instance, of somebody else's station in life. But like my man J. Cole say, sometimes they whips hard and behind closed doors, they can't pay the lease, right? When you compare yourself to the illusion part of it, you're setting yourself up for a loss. So what if instead we started to look at process? What if instead, when we admire this lady or we admire this man, we look at the stuff they went through where we wouldn't have been so envious of their position? It's amazing how many of these stories start off where, you know, Akon started off as Devon Stevens' bag boy. Like he became, Jermaine Dupri was a dancer for Houdini. P. Diddy, you know, the guy they call P. Diddy, Puffy, right? He started off as a intern at Arista, right? All of these people start, you know, in the last newsletter we put out, I put out this quote from this poet who was like, you can't tell that's going to be a butterfly from the larva. You can't tell looking at an infant that that's going to be a lawyer. I mean, it is so, but what you want to do is you want to look at the process. So you don't mess around and hate on the caterpillar, even though you want the butterfly. Millionaires, the season you plant the seed is not going to be the same season that you reap the harvest, and we all know that. But check it out. What you can do is give yourself a competitive advantage by making it so that you start to be able to see the patterns as it develops in your own life. What happens if I pay attention to enough of the stories of the great ones, if I read enough of their biographies, if I get deep into their why, you know, what made them the way they are, then what happens is when my own story's unfolding, instead of this feeling daunting and scary because I don't know what's next, it feels like I'm living in a movie that I've already seen. Because I know everybody went through this, and I know certain people that went through way worse. So now I'm grateful for what other people are calling a problem. This ain't nothing. I'm happy this is happening now instead of when we're 10x bigger. Because, oh my goodness, to lose 20% of your people is one thing if you have 100 people. It's a whole different thing if you're losing 20% of 1 million. But for you to understand that and for you to have those certain types of insights, you've got to pay attention, y'all, on people's process. You got to pay attention to people's process, not their profits, not their profits, not what you discern to be their profits. This is the last one I got for you. I hope this was helpful for somebody. We do this 7 days a week. Make sure you subscribe. You know, if you're checking in from YouTube, then make sure you subscribe. If you're not checking in from YouTube, then you can subscribe to the page you're watching on, or share it in the group. You better tell them, big sis. And that leads me to number 8. And I'm so glad my big sis here, because I talk to her about this all the time. A lot of times this is our spring personalities. They put themselves last in priority. You're wasting time if you do that. And I want you to stop holding it up like a badge of honor. I want you to stop waving the flag of being a martyr. The world class don't put themselves last in priority. That is a huge time waster, right? We all go through times where we don't get enough sleep, or we don't get enough exercise because we got to work on some big project. Millionaires, what you're doing is hurting yourself. You're hustling backwards. If you want long-term success, if you want long-term happiness, y'all might want to start calling in on the affirmation line now, y'all. We about to go get it. We about to go get it in. But if you want long-term happiness, millionaires, you got to put yourself first on the priority list. We've all heard the cliche. You got to put on your own mask before you start helping out, you know, the lady beside you and the little baby behind you, right? You got to put yourself on a priority list. And some really cool ways that you can kickstart this is by doing something you love to do every day. Maybe you love to meditate. Maybe you want to love to meditate. So you need to start. Maybe you love to journal. Maybe you love to read. Do what works for you, y'all. Maybe it's just going to be a walk around the block while you call a friend you haven't talked to in months. Millionaires. Because when you start off your day doing something great, or when you end your day doing something great for you, when you start off your day doing something that's wonderful for you, or you end it doing something that's wonderful for you, you're going to feel stronger the rest of the day. It's a competitive advantage. It's a force multiplier. You only got one life, y'all. You might as well live it. Why make your whole day about this commute to work, this job that you barely like, and then you're commuting back to work, and then it's like you got to just go to sleep and start all over again? That's not no life. So let's do a little bit better. Millionaires, repeat after me. I am so happy and grateful